Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
We're back again, and we just wanted to talk to you about another thing that's come across. We don't have a desk, but if we had a desk, this would come across
our
desk.
organ.
Our organ. We're on an organ.
It's come across your organ.
And this is something quite exciting, I think.
Well, yeah, potentially a bit interesting. This is just a kind of a short kind of. I've smelled it a bit, but it's a kind of a first impressions of a new fragrance released by another YouTuber. So Mr. Smelly, Dan,
Hi, Dan.
who we've met before, has sent us his fragrance.
Which is very cool.
Gravitas. He sent us this little decant bottle. He contacted us and said, "Would you like to try it?" And we said yes.
Absolutely,
so this is,
we would.
Just before we were doing this video, we were talking about the notion of YouTubers releasing fragrances, and there's one quite well-known reviewer who released a fragrance who we were maybe quite harsh about, and we were saying before we even smell this fragrance, let's just talk about a few things. The Kickstarter for this is £75 for 100 ml. Good, winning. Which is very, very, very reasonable.
Yeah.
So that's basically in designer category.
Yeah, that's totally in line with what you could find.
So we've just got this little decant bottle, but I'll put up a picture here or here. I'll put up a picture of the bottle which it comes in.
So has this been released already now? Is this sort of out in the market?
It's available on the Kickstarter. Some people, have it, and I think it's a nice bottle.
It looks beautiful from the pictures I've seen.
It looks decent. And so it's 75 quid for an X-ray as well. It's 20% volume. That's very, very good. So before we even talk about the smell, I think he's doing some things right. And so it's a collaboration with John Stephen, who is I think he's done quite a lot for Bodensee, the Victorias. He's also done Oxford and Cambridge.
Yes.
For Check and Speak.
Which I love.
So he's a perfumer, British perfumer of some standing.
Yeah.
Let's get.
So this is exciting.
Let's get in and spray it. So
I think we share quite similar tastes with Dan, don't we? In terms of the classics and the vintage. In terms of barbershop stuff.
I've worn this a bit, so I'll let you just have a spray.
Thank you very much indeed.
But when we met Dan the first time, we met him and he had a few things for us to come and smell. And in particular, I think the thing which Dan is most interested, if you watch Mr. Smelly is most interested in, is that, God, it's a big spray, this one. It's a really strong smell.
It's punchy, yeah.
What he's most interested in is vintage gentlemen's fragrances of the 80s, late 70s and early 80s. Yeah. The real barbershop fougere. When we met him, he had all these little decants of things he'd bought on eBay, second hand, and that was his kind of true, I think that is his kind of true passion.
Which was great, actually. I think that took me back a little bit in time, smelling things like Boss, Spirit, and all those guys. So I
get a lot of that when I smell this.
Yeah, it totally feels like we're stumbling across a really nice vintage fougere.
It's a real lavendery, aromatic, barbershoppy fougere.
Yeah.
But there's some star anise there.
And sort of gently spicy.
Yeah.
Nothing overwhelming, just sort of a gentle hum of something interesting behind that citrus.
I mean, I just think there.
I like that. I have to say.
I'm definitely reminded of those. And Greggy Boy also, when he sent us lots of samples for our blind smelling test, he sent us quite a lot of those kind of 80s aromatic fougères, and I get lots of them here. The slightly different thing is, I feel, you really get that barbershop, that shaving out of a can thing, which you get if you know Rive Gauche, you get that vibe with it.
I find that a very reassuring, familiar, and I don't mean familiar in a bad way, I mean familiar as in I get the style and I like the genre of perfume.
Yeah, you know exactly, there's no doubt whatsoever where you are.
Yeah, and unashamedly of its time as well.
The only other thing which I get, which I might not necessarily always get with those, is I get quite a lot of patchouli as well. Then if you find some patchouli, I got quite
I can find something creeping through.
Yeah.
There's an earthiness creeping through.
But what is interesting in that, as I said, I think it does represent what Mr. Smelly, Dan, is really interested in and where his passion lies. And it's not actually that much of a crowd-pleasingly popular fragrance. It's quite big.
No.
And when I've tried it tried it at home and sprayed to my wife and stuff, and she's like, wow, that's strong. And when I just sprayed it now, it's quite a big, strong, powerful opening. It's quite a big fragrance, as you would expect from something which is X-ray strength. But it's not, you know, in line with what is in vogue at the moment. A big kind of ambroxan bomb.
It's very true to the things that Dan obviously enjoys.
This is not a teenager's fragrance, I love that. I would say.
No. It's a million miles away from Bleu de Chanel and all those guys.
I did find when I don't know if you'll get this, but when I wore it, it did change a bit. So as it dried down, whereas with those traditional aromatic fougères, you'd expect it to head in an oak moss direction. I didn't get much oak moss with this actually.
Oh, okay.
I think he, let me look at this thing. Does he list oak moss? Yeah, he does list oak moss, but I didn't get a huge amount of oak moss at all. I got some patchouli. I found it became sweeter in the dry down. And I did think in the dry down as well, there was ambroxan. Now, I don't mean amber extreme,
no,
as in Sauvage or as in Office for Men. It's not that. It felt like ambroxan in that it was
the nice stuff that actually is good.
Sarah McCartney gave to us, and what she described as sexy woods.
Yeah, totally.
So it dried down sexy woods, and there was a little bit of sweetness as well. There was a bit of vanilla in the dry down.
Do you know what this? I mean, it's not the same smell at all, but this takes me slightly in the mind without the sort of almondy note of something like 1725 by Histoire de Parfum. That nice, slightly, I don't know, slightly gently spicy wood, but mainly this beautiful herbaceous thing. I really like it actually, I have to say.
But it's I mean, this doesn't, for £75, I think you're expecting a designer fragrance.
Yeah.
75 for 100 ml, and I think this smells better than that.
This is totally,
does it smell like a you know, my kind of absolute perfect niche fragrance that I go out and buy? No, I don't think so. I don't think, you know, for my taste, I'm not that in love with this particular style. But I think he's done well. Yeah,
I would buy this as a modern reference for a good fougère done well with the sort of tribute to the classics.
I think I prefer it to the modern Rive Gauche.
Yeah, totally.
So I'd buy over that. I mean,
a bit of ginger as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some spice. I would say, you know, for my personal taste, I own Paisley by Tromper. And I think I slightly prefer that to this, which is similar, which has got a bit more mint. I really like the opening to this, which is what, you know,
I do.
What we're experiencing at the moment. It was just, I felt on the dry down, it became a little bit less characterful in a way. It became a little bit more modern. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being cynical, because but
that's how you feel it.
The opening is classic. The dry down felt a bit more. There was this kind of vanilla-y, slightly ambroxany, not much oak moss, but still perfectly pleasant. And
I think that's really enjoyable. Again, I think we're winning. We've got a good size bottle. It's a really good price.
Decent presentation.
It's different. Decent presentation. It's different from what's out there. In terms of the modern stuff, clear vision, clear identity.
Exactly what he sent out to do, and I think he sent us a little bit of. You can't read this, but he sent us this little blurb, which he's obviously sent out to everyone, and you know, and he's kind of just making a statement. He says this fragrance is a classic aromatic fougère scent, which is classy, reassuring, enigmatic, and complex. I think he's achieved what he set out to do.
I'd say congrats and good luck with it, because I think that's good stuff.
Yeah,
I would buy a bottle of that. I think.
Personally,
I enjoy that.
For my taste, I wouldn't, but I think if you like what we said,
try it. It's definitely worth it. You're not going to be getting fleeced like you were with a certain other person.
I think £75 for this is a very, very, very reasonable price, and I can't argue with that at all. So, well done, Mr. Smelly. If you tried it, let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd like to know actually, because it's so, sometimes we get completely nose blind, don't we, and we think this is what we're getting, this is what we're getting, and someone else will say, oh, actually I'm getting saffron. Bam, okay, not in this, but it can happen.
It is good.
It's good, I like it.
Well done, Mr. Smelly. Well done, John Stephen. You've done well. Until next time.
Bye.
Happy sniffing.